Thursday, 2:37 p.m. A military police helicopter flies over the Vale Verde favela in the northern part of Rio de Janeiro. The mission, to provide air support for a routine raid in a community dominated by drug trafficking. What no one expected was what would come from the skies. They were on duty, above the clouds, above the traffic laws. But that day, the sky turned into a trap, and the fall was more than physical. It was symbolic. A slap in the face of order, a war cry against crime. But the police never sleep. And if you want to feel the smell of gunpowder, the weight of the uniform, and the pulse of those who live on the front line, already sign up now at Conflict Route. Here, you don't watch, you participate. Now yes, let's get into the story. This is Falcon 02, visual patrol, no changes for now. Crack! We're losing control. It's the Falcon, it's hit. The helicopter was shot down by drug traffickers using heavy weapons. Later, reports indicate that a military-grade .50 caliber rifle was used. The Falcon 02 plummeted like a meteor among the alleys of the favela, exploding upon touching the ground. Of the 5 crew members, 3 died instantly. 2 were seriously injured. At the top of the hill, videos began to circulate, drug dealers laughing, taking selfies with smoke in the background, shots in the air, fireworks, shouts of victory, an MC improvising funk on a megaphone. The bird fell, now we're in charge. Death became a spectacle. Barbarity, carnival. Crime thought it had won, but it forgot one thing: the blood on the uniform does not dry in vain. Eastern Military Command Headquarters, 10:41 p.m. In an armored bunker, leaders of the military police, civil police, BOPE and armed forces gathered. The mood was one of mourning and a thirst for justice. That was a message. Now we will respond accordingly. I want them all, everyone. There won't be a single dog left barking there. Name of the mission? They shot down Falcon 02. The response will be equal. Operation Black Hawk. While the favela celebrated, behind the scenes, hell began to boil. 30 tactical teams called up. 4 Army armored vehicles deployed. Special forces snipers and hunters positioned in dense forests surrounding the community. Thermal drones monitoring alleys and escape routes. Police officers saying goodbye to their families. Letters written. Latest videos recorded. No one knew if he was going to come back. The favela became a stage, the alleys trenches, and the forest a silent cemetery. They didn't know it, but they were already marked, because when Falcon falls, the whole gang comes flying to avenge. In the early hours of the morning after the Falcon 03 helicopter crash, Rio woke up with the taste of blood in its throat. It wasn't just another tragedy, it was declared war, and every police officer still wearing the uniform felt in their hearts that that death had to be paid for. The city stopped. So did security. TV images cut through the air. Headlines flash in red letters. PM helicopter is shot down by drug traffickers with anti-aircraft rifle fire. Video shows drug traffickers celebrating and shooting into the air after the fall. Government announces unprecedented response. About that, barracks entered a state of readiness. Police officers, even off duty, were asked to volunteer. Vehicles were reinforced. BOPE was mobilized. Social media has become a battlefield. If it's war they want, it's war they'll get. They will cry blood. They knocked down one of our people. Now the whole hill will die. BOPE, Central Base, 3:15 a.m. Captain Andrade, a veteran of operations in favelas and jungles, looks at the digital map on the table. I want to track everyone who posted videos celebrating. Everyone. The ones who took selfies, the ones who danced, the ones who laughed. It doesn't matter if he's armed or not. The message will be clear. You laughed at the police's blood. Now you're going to swim in your own. Across town, at the Armed Forces Command Center, confirmed. Part of the drug trafficking leadership hid in the forest near Vale Verde. They believe they have a safe escape route. Little do they know that there are already camouflaged troops waiting for the right moment. General Viana bangs on the table. Surround, isolate, suffocate. There will only be two results. Either they surrender or they disappear without a trace. Videos of drug dealers circulate in the early hours. Video 1, TikTok from the hill. Falcon fell, sucker died. This is Vale Verde Hill, the police don't fly here anymore. MC improvising funk. It fell from the sky, turned to ash and smoke. Here we are in charge, in the street and in the square. Video 2, Instagram stories. Drug dealers dancing on top of speakers. Children playing with pieces of the helicopter. One of them holds the charred helmet of one of the crew members. Look at God's gift, the favela won. Arrogance became fuel. They signed their own sentence and didn't even realize it. When the skull rises from the grave, it's because justice is digging to bury everyone. In the early morning hours, Navy commandos silently infiltrate the stream that surrounds the community. Army snipers position themselves in 50-foot-tall trees with night vision. Civil agents map, one by one, the leaders who appeared in the videos. Hunters, a special jungle troop, cover 3 kilometers of dense forest with traps and sensors. Army armored vehicles positioned 2 kilometers from the entrance to the favela with 50-caliber rotating machine guns. The warning, "You will find hell." Leaked audio from internal police group. At 5 a.m. tomorrow, the sun will rise differently. Let's not knock on the door. Let's just break into hell. The war began with a shot, but now the response comes in silence, without warning, without forgiveness, because what is coming is more than an operation. It is a settling of accounts. 5:02 in the morning, still dark. The cold cuts through. The fog covers the forest around the Vale Verde favela. From inside the alleys, no one knows what's coming. But outside, hell is already ready to enter. It's no longer a raid. It's an invasion. The warning had been given. The pain already had a name. Now all that remained was the silence of preparation and the roar of execution. Operation Black Hawk was about to begin, and those on the hill would feel every step of the giant waking up. Start of siege. 05:05. Troop radio whispered. Phoenix 01 in position. Phoenix 02 prepared for side entry. Alpha and Bravo awaiting signal. Full QAP. Thermal camera images drone footage shows dozens of bodies moving around inside the hill. Some already awake, others still sleeping. All surrounded. Guarani Army armored vehicles advance along one of the main roads, with the caliber machine guns spinning, ready. Every meter, a skull descends and takes up position. On the slopes of the forest, camouflaged as leaves, the hunters are already in predator mode. Escape route, none. 05:11, signal given. It's now go! Broken doors. Tactical grenade in alley, smoke invading shacks, screams, running, dog barking, child crying, and in the middle of it all, the sound of terror. Police! Get down on the ground, now! A drug dealer tries to escape through the back with a rifle. It is sniper target 500 meters away. Dry impact. I fell on my face in the mud. Another tries to climb the wall with a grenade on his waist. A skull shouts, "Let go of this shit or go to hell with it." He hesitates. He takes 2 in the chest. No more doubt. In the forest, a group of 5 tries to escape along the trail. Thermal sensor warns hunters. They are left to walk. One by one, they are slaughtered with surgical precision. There's no time to even scream. Inside a shack, a woman cries, hugging her dead son on the floor. "Why did they do this to my son? He was just a student." The skull responds dryly, with the hardened look of someone who buried a friend yesterday. He had a rifle by his side and was laughing at the helicopter crash. Only the place where it fell has changed. The message was delivered. The favela became a battlefield. It's no longer about complying with a warrant. Now it's about justice, about showing that whoever shoots down a hawk signs his own sentence. Partial numbers from the first hour of the operation. 13 confirmed dead, all with long weapon. 7 prisoners. 2 drug lords located at high points on the hill. Intercepted radios reveal total panic among criminals. "They're coming from everywhere. These guys are ghosts, bro." The drug traffickers who flee in groups through the forest think they have escaped. Little do they know that the hunters are playing chess with their lives. They ran thinking they were going to escape. They ran believing that the forest was a hiding place. But the jungle that morning had an owner, and the hunters were already waiting. Escape through the forest. 0627 intercepted radio, voice of the chief drug dealer. Caballino, come down, damn it. Go down the antenna trail. Through the sewer, it will lead to the forest. We will come out on the other side soon. Take the spear, take the rifle, and grab the backpack with the radios. Let's disappear. On the other side of the radio, absolute silence. The trail seemed safe. They knew the way. They knew the forest like no one else. But they forgot one thing. This was no longer their forest. It was the territory of people who hunt in the dark, who survive in silence, and that was trained to eliminate. Hunter's position, 1.5 kilometers inside the forest. 3 special platoons, a mix of army commandos and special forces, had been holed up in the forest since 3 a.m., camouflaged, with thermal vision and silent drones flying over the tops. They knew how many were fleeing, which routes were they going to follow, who was who, and they were ready to let each of them feel the despair before the end. 06A48. Group of 4 traffickers runs along the side trail of the stream. One of them falls into a trap, steel wire tensioned on the shin. Before the partner helps, 3 dry shots. 1 in the chest, 2 in the head. Hunter on the radio, calm voice. Contact 1 confirmed. Next group moving 80 meters away. Real audio intercepted. Group of bandits. Bro, something's wrong. Negon disappeared. Allemand fell. I saw him get hit. In the middle of the woods, and nobody knows where it came from. We're being hunted, damn it. This place is haunted. One's voice begins to tremble. Another drops his rifle and begins to pray. They don't know, are being watched by a thermal camera at every step. The hunter speaks. We don't give them a chance. The objective was psychological. They had to feel like they were dying before they even got shot. They were laughing at Falcone's fall, right? Now, we want to see if they'll laugh when they feel the cold steel on their neck. Ozo 7H12, Mata Center. The drug dealer known as Little Hair, local chief, led the escape. He was carrying an AK-47 rifle and a vest stolen from a police officer. He runs, panting. He looks around, he starts to hear voices among the branches. Nothing, until a sound of a footstep behind. Turn. Nothing. And then, did you think you were going to leave laughing? Black Hawk sends his regards. A single shot. In the knee. He falls screaming. The hunters. A body camera records everything. Caballino kicks, begs, cries. Don't kill me, brother, please, please. I was just following orders, bro. Shut up. Last shot. Dry. Between the eyes. The video then circulated in closed groups of security forces. Caption: Justice done. Operation Black Hawk. Kill phase completed. There was no glory. There was no funk. There was death. Cold. Surgical. And most importantly, there was justice. When the hunters returned from the forest, it was no longer a mission. It was revenge accomplished. A fixed gaze, clothes stained with mud and blood, and one certainty: no one escapes justice. It only postpones the inevitable. 0741. Advanced Operations Base. The forest was over. The bodies were already being collected by experts. The hunters walked back. They didn't say anything, just the sound of their boots on the wet ground. One skull cleans the knife. Another takes out the charger, checks it, puts it away. Heavy breathing, hard looks. An army major says, looking at the horizon, the jungle has already been washed. Now the rest of the urban waste is missing. 803. Vale Verde Favela. The alleys that once echoed with the sound of funk and rasada are now silent. The vehicles are parked at strategic points. The BOPE cavalry is holding the perimeter. The riot police are sweeping the slabs. Heavy bar. A war scenario. A resident whispers to a local journalist's camera, I've never seen that, no. The police really came in to kill. Whoever was a loose animal became a dead animal. The dead start to appear on the social media. Images recorded by residents circulate on WhatsApp. bodies on the edge of the forest, men with rifles lying with the weapons still in their hands. The video of the boss, Caballino, dead, with a clean shot to the forehead, with the caption, "He went to make fun of Falcon. Now he's flying with him." 0839. Press and alternative social networks broadcast live. Reporter with ballistic helmet and vest, security. Forces still remain on the hill. The atmosphere is tense. The operation, called Black Hawk, appears to have been the largest mobilization since the federal intervention. In the background, police officers in position, helicopters flying overhead, sniffer dogs passing by with their handlers. The press is shocked by the number of bodies and weapons. Partial balance of the operation, 9 a.m. 25. Drug dealers confirmed dead, 11 people arrested in flagrante delicto, 17 rifles seized, including one with gold paint, pistols, grenades, ammunition in boxes, 3 refining laboratories deactivated, 1 pirate radio station destroyed, and the main thing, leadership of the hill, eliminated. Command HQ, 09/17. Colonel Mora, responsible for coordination with the Army, receives a direct call from the High Command. "Congratulations, Colonel. This is history in the making. The Falcons fell, but you made them fly again." The Colonel responds, "There is no celebration. We just close the coffin. A falcon that falls returns more ferocious." The favela was in mourning, but not because of drug trafficking. The mother who lost her son already knew he had chosen the wrong side. The problem is that many are still alive, and worse, so silent. In the world of crime, silence is the warning. While the troops celebrated the success of the mission, a silent drone rose, and from up there he saw what no one expected. The favela still hid a ghost, one who didn't carry a rifle. He carried secrets. Tenor 12. Or Q-12 Raven drone, tactical model in absolute silence, flies 110 meters above the favela. Operated by an Army intelligence team, it tracks areas outside the main focus of the operation. Goal: identify escape points and hiding places. But what appears is something out of the ordinary. 1017. Thermal camera detects movement. On the roof of an apparently abandoned house, at the top of the hill, a lone figure wearing a balaclava, discreet vest and gloves manipulates. A military notebook with encrypted antenna papers and maps with supply routes. A high-frequency radio communicator not used by local factions. The most sinister detail, he doesn't seem desperate. He works calmly, calculates types, observes police movements without showing fear. Dialogue between drone operators. Soldier: "Wait a minute. This guy is no ordinary criminal. He's wearing special forces gear, Colonel." Intelligence officer: "This guy is on another level. There's something big going on here. Let's ask for authorization for continuous tracking." 10:20. He walks down the slabs. He walks as if he knows everything. He doesn't run. He passes by residents without being questioned. Turn a corner and disappear into an alley between 2 buildings. But the drone keeps following, until you catch something shocking. He enters through a steel door at the back of an abandoned bar. Inside, the thermal drone captures 4 more armed figures, but not with rifles. Laptop, tablet, antennas, clandestine. Intelligence Center detected a kind of digital mini HQ set up in the heart of the favela with coded signal transmitters, police frequency tracking, PM tactical radio recordings, troop movement records. And there, in the center, the man in the balaclava gives the order: "Clean everything. In 12 minutes this spot has to be dead. There will be a sweep here. Burn the HD. Just take the chips. And tell the guy above that Falcon's downfall has already been calculated. The operation didn't just kill drug dealers. She woke up the real monster, the drug trafficking intelligence network, a group that doesn't wear flip-flops, wears suits, and makes millions." The order comes from above. At the military police operations base, the major receives the intelligence alert. He looks at the monitor with images from the clandestine plant. Look at the Army colonel. Something is wrong. This is not a drug den. This is a command. The colonel frowns. He turns on the radio and says, I authorize. Lethal force. This war is now against another enemy. We're going to get whoever shot down the Falcon, but also whoever paid for the ammunition. The clandestine plant's HD was partially recovered. Among the data, contact maps with foreign suppliers, local politicians, and even corrupt PMs, and a spreadsheet with a strange name, Operation Navy Blue, Route 17. Do you think that drug trafficking only happens because there are rifles? No. Trafficking happens because there are those who sign the paper, those who order the release, those who pay for silence, and now the list of these names has fallen into the wrong hands. The police who do not sell out. 11:38. Restricted room of the intelligence base. A PM technician and 2 Army intelligence agents complete the recovery of the hard drive from the clandestine base. Encrypted files, protected but breakable. After 40 minutes of trying, a zipped file opens. File name Founders R17 OPX. Inside it, an organized table with columns named as local responsible, political protection, forwarding code, area of influence. At the top of the list, name Federal Deputy Romulo G. Taviani, Party PSDR, area Vale Verde Slum, Baixada do Inferno, directly responsible Cabelinho, dead, monthly value $780,000, function institutional shielding plus diversion of public funds via fictitious NGO, silence in the room. Colonel Moura takes a deep breath. He looks at the monitor. On the other side of the room, Major Renan, a veteran with 18 years on the front line, whispers, "Now we understand why the helicopter crashed. It was a warning." The names that follow on the list: a retired state judge, 2 businessmen with public contracts, a high-ranking civil police officer, 3 councillors from the West Zone, a TV producer connected to a sensationalist program, and the most sinister, a former battalion commander. 37 names, all with photos, addresses, routine schedules. It was more than a list. It was a map of rot. 12:04. The list reaches the High Command of the General Inspectorate, but one detail draws attention. One of the names is crossed out in red pen. Name: Captain Rodrigo A. Tavares. Function: lost contact, possible traitor. Note: suspicion of passing on information to the Special Force. The name of the missing captain, who was aboard the Falcon 02 helicopter. Now, the police realized that it wasn't just a helicopter crash. It was a scheduled execution. They killed the captain because he knew too much and was ready to give it all away. Operation Black Hawk now has a new arm, Mission Exposure, to show the entire country that the system is rotten from the inside. Colonel Moura bangs his fist on the table and says, "If we die, let it be with the truth in our hands. Let's finish them all off. Politician, drug dealer, businessman, one by one. The war is now against the ghosts in suits and ties." Meeting with the Federal Task Force. 2:03 p.m. A black Ministry of Justice helicopter lands at the base. 2. Federal police agents and a prosecutor from the National Anti-Corruption Task Force get out of it. They review the list. They confirm some of the information. They ask for confidentiality, but the skull can't take it anymore. He looks at the prosecutor and says, "Doctor, with all due respect, if you hide this again, we leak everything, with name, surname, and video." While drug traffickers were shooting up in the hills, someone was signing a contract in the air conditioning of Brasilia. But now, that person's CPF has fallen into the fine mesh of the skull, and when the system fails, steel solves it. 16:11. Intelligence confirms Romulo Taviani's name appears crossed out in 5 different investigations. Fund diversion route via NGOs. Paraguay purchases rifles using frontmen. Institutional protection for drug dealers with ghost appointments. Encrypted messages with criminals on Russian communication apps. And, more serious, passing on coordinates from the PM to drug trafficking on the day of the crash. The troops are silent. The atmosphere is heavy, but the eyes are burning. 17:03. Captain Fabio Tex, BOPE veteran, hardliner, impeccable record, 4 operations in Haiti, 2 in international cooperation. They called me to catch politicians, so I'm going to hunt like I hunt vagrants, with precision. If necessary, I will rip that congressman's suit off his arm. Designated as head of the mission's Team Zero, the order is clear: locate, capture and extract Romulo Taviani alive. But if you react, 18A44, an internal source from the federal police sends a coded message. He leaves tomorrow. Private flight. Route SP, Montevideo, Emirates. Escape plan drawn up. Plane rented in the name of a ghost company. Romulo Taviani plans to hide in a gated community on the outskirts of Dubai where there is no extradition. 1922. The mission of Team Zero: intercept the deputy before boarding. If there is an attempt to escape or armed confrontation, lethal force authorized, confiscate. Personal cell phone and tablet, where hope to find evidence of the helicopter crash, the deputy's last known location. A $1 million farm in the interior of SP, surrounded by private security and cameras on all sides. 10:15 p.m. The operation begins. 5 black Special Force SUVs depart from the tactical base. No rotating beacon, no siren, only closed radio. Inside, Captain Tex review the map with your team. Entrance through the side of the forest. Without attracting attention, total silence. 3 pairs. I'm going straight to the main house, and if the mouse tries to run, the tooth will close on its neck. 0033. Arrival at the farm, dark. Clear sky, no dogs, no noise. The troop descends and begins to advance through the bushes, under the electric fence, in total synchrony. A camera pans around the guardhouse. A team drone flies overhead as a countermeasure, obscuring the signal. And then, a shot rings out. Not from the police, from the security guards. They noticed the movement and opened fire. 041 private security with imported rifles. Team Zero responds with surgical fire. 2 security guards fall. A police officer is grazed by a bullet, but Tex advances alone on the right flank. Break down the door to the main house. Inside, he sees Romulo Taviani in pajamas, with a suitcase and a passport in his hands. Tex points the rifle. Raise your hand, you worm. You're under arrest, and I'll tell you right now, your fall was worse than the helicopter. Taviani, terrified, shouts, "You don't know who you're messing with. I'm a federal deputy." Tex laughs, placing the rifle against his chest. "And I am a skull. Now kneel down." Droich 55. Deputy Romulo Taviani is handcuffed and taken away under heavy escort. Cell phone, tablet, portable hard drive, everything seized. It's not just an operation, it's the Falcon's last flight, and he will fly low to take every name on the list to hell. 03 John. 3 days after Taviani's arrest, a video begins to circulate on WhatsApp, Telegram and parallel networks. It's the drug lord that's left Alison de Cruz, aka Black King, recording from inside a forest, dirty, with a bruised face, looking at the camera. "Do you think you won? This isn't over yet. The army can come, the skull can come, whoever can come. We are creatures, we are jungle. This is the favela militia, son. And what about Falcão? He fell like a chicken." He spits on the ground and laughs. In the background, a group with rifles. And more. 2 men. Tied up and kneeling. Kidnapped police officers. The answer would come, but not as they imagined. Row 5820. The Operation General, in coordination with the National Force, PM and BOPE, unlocks the last level of the plan. Now it's full sweep, lethal force authorized. Infiltrators, drones, hunters. The objective is one. No one leaves the forest. Nobody. A hunt begins like Brazil has rarely seen before. More than 80 Special Forces soldiers had already been camouflaged for 2 days, with thermal vision, contact mines and natural traps. The drug traffickers, in desperation, try to run through the forest, but the forest responds with lead. One by one they fall. Marines capture and kill those who fight back. Those who surrender are dragged, interrogated and exposed. And what about the Black King? He tried to escape through a stream, but he tripped over a detection line. 07-14. King Nego is captured by 3 army hunters. He's placed on his knees with his face covered in blood. One of the skulls arrives with a cell phone in his hand. Open the video of the helicopter crash. Show it to him. Then he shows the video of him with the 2 kidnapped police officers. Do you remember what you said? Now answer. King Nego stutters, begs. He says he was just a karaoke showing off. But there is no more forgiveness. The skull pulls the knife out of his leg. Important, this is for Falcone 02. Jones Hill 30. Everyone involved in the helicopter crash was either killed or arrested. The HD was handed over to the Ministry of Justice, but a copy was sent to independent journalists. Images of the deputy being escorted away in handcuffs made the front page of a newspaper. Congress tried to cover it up, but the internet didn't forgive. At the barracks where Falcone 02 departed for the last time, a monument is erected. 5 names engraved, the heroes of the crew, a black eagle statue with its wings spread. Below, a sign, they didn't fall, they landed in the sky. In memory of the warriors of Falcone 02, the skull speaks. Whoever thinks the bandit won, forget that we have memory, and every skull, every policeman, every soldier carries within his chest the name of a friend who stayed behind. And for each one who fell, the answer will always be greater. Here, crime never wins. If you experienced this operation firsthand, if the blood boiled when the Falcon fell, and he was thrilled with the troops' response, then you already know what to do. Leave a like as a way of paying tribute to the warriors who fell. Write in the comments for the Falcon 02 to show that you are with justice, side by side with the skull. And if you're the type who doesn't shy away from confrontation, sign up now in the conflict route. Here, the fight never stops, and you are part of the troop. Activate the bell, because in the next mission, you can be the first to board. Conflict route. Here, crime trembles.